competition process. So in 30 days from now, you should have a boat that might be ready to launch?
No, this is actually, if you looked at, this is a concrete slab that they poured and they were done with.
Yep.
They're about 60% done at the end of the day. They got foot braces, they got decorations, they got sanding, they got finishing.
Lots more work to do.
Yeah, they actually have a lot of work.
Okay.
So this is the most labor-intensive day, and it's the scariest day because we've had mixes not mixed. We've actually had to dump them out.
Did the cold weather affect any of your mixes?
No, the weather's not. Unless it's freezing.
Not a factor?
It's not a problem. In fact, the colder the better, the slower the chemical reaction.
Cool.
So.
Okay, so then what's next? I know it's a long process.
Well, it's going to sit on the mold after they finish it today for 7 days, and then next week, next Friday, hopefully we'll pop it off the mold. And they actually have end caps that drop out here. You see that piece right there sitting on top of that piece of wood? The old molds. See this piece here? What they'll do tomorrow is they'll come in and they'll drop the end piece out of the mold. And that'll allow the concrete to shrink on the mold and not crack. If we don't do that, there's a 100% chance to crack right down the middle. Okay, because we have had it cracks every single time we didn't do that. So, but one year they decided, hey, let's try to release the stresses by dropping that down, and then it works like a champ.
And they're using the cooking oil as like a release?
Mold release, yeah.
Okay.
Works really good. And then they've got holes, and you can see the holes here. They've got holes in that mold, and they're going to put air lines underneath the mold and push the canoe up off the thing, just like a air hockey rink.
Okay.
As you can see a whole bunch of holes in this. This is last year's mold. There were some problems with, or 2 years ago's mold.
So it's like creates like an air section.
Well, okay, it actually pushes it up.
Okay.
And so when we try to lift it off the mold, the air pressure from that and people physically doing it will pick it up off the mold pretty easily.
Cool.
So, a lot of innovations, man. A lot of stuff. Just dropping it down, the air holes, there's just tons of innovations. The pre-stressing stuff. A lot of things we do that people don't realize are going on.
How long do you think, like let's say 30 days from now, you're farther along the process, how long from that do you want to try to launch it? Or do you wait till is the competition to launch?
We're going to put it in a pool across the street to make sure it floats full of water.
Okay.
It should float. And Andy's mixes have been really good. So.
Okay.
And then they'll probably bring it back over here and then do some of the decorative stuff, and then they got to seal it and bring it to the competition. And before they seal it, if he has enough time, we might try to get an oven thing to dry it out and then seal it.
Like a kiln? Like a giant kiln?
Yeah. We brought it to a couple places in the past, and that seemed to help for the short term because it's not help forever.
Yeah.
But
so what's the competition like?
Competition is pretty tough because we got 23 schools in the region from Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, and Puerto Rico.
And how does the day kind of go?
The first, well, it's 2 days that they do this thing. The first day is the technical stuff. They'll do a 5-minute and 5-second presentation, and they get questions and answers after that. And the canoe itself will be out on the display area, and the judges will judge the final product along with how there's a little table with all kind of stuff that goes with it. And they have an engineer's notebook that's got to be included, and you have to go through the notebook and see if all the parts are in this notebook. So that's day one. There's the display and the presentation. Before day one shows up, they got a report due in February that judges all read. And then before they go, whoever won that report's is scaring the region, because winning a report, you're 5% ahead of everybody.
Right.
So.
And then on the second day they get to float it?
They get 5 races.
Cool.
And sometimes they float it to check and see if it floats on the first day, and sometimes they do it on race day.
That's
depending
fun.
whatever's easier. If the weather's cold, they make decisions here and there. It's hard to swamp these unless you have a swimming pool that's accessible.
Yeah.
So, and even in swimming pools, you've got to be really careful.
Not to chip the sides and stuff?
I got to chip the pole. Chip the sides of the boat.
Yeah.
You got to walk in and so. And we need a couple wetsuits for the guys because we're going to Tennessee and it's just going to be cold for that. And we probably need, because they typically have been building these containers instead of pools, and it's just enough room to put somebody in there and a boat in there, and then they drop it in themselves. And then trying to put something underwater
Yeah.
It's hard. It doesn't float. It doesn't want to go under. So they got to tilt it and slowly let the water in. If they push on it, they're going to push on the sides. So when they do that, they got to pass that. If they don't pass that, there's a big deduction. And then the next day there's races. Ladies first, men second. Women do a distance race, men do the distance race, and then they do sprints, and then they do a 4-person co-ed sprint.
Have you saved like past year boats?
Yeah, there's several of them. We just they're across campus this time of year.
So what are they? Just hanging out? They're
hanging out by the.
They make really nice planners.
Yeah, they would
decorate their building.
Yeah. Yeah, we had. If you turn around.
Oh, okay.
We've had them do a variety of things. Now, the problem is they got dropped. The coolest one we ever made had this bulb on the front.
Oh, that's
You've
fun.
seen like the cruise ships?
Yeah.
All right, this is a racing bulb. Here's the mold that went with it. And this sucker, when a boat goes through the water, is a bow wave? Mm-hmm. No.
No bow wave.
Zero bow wave. So.
And then who decides on the names of the boat?
The kids do.
Do they just like vote?
They kind of have a theme. So.
Got ramming speed, Quicksilver.
Quicksilver, this is Panthera, terminal velocity, and then pre-stressed out. This was also pre-stressed. That's Dr. Khalid's son made out.
That's a good name.
Yeah.
Pre-stressed out.
Yeah.
How does your crew? You think they're pre-stressed out?
Yeah. They're doing really good. Doing really good.
Good stuff. Is this resin?
No, that's for the mixed water, wastewater stuff. We're supposed to pour it in here and then environmentally get rid of
some
it.
Some EPA stuff?
Yeah, it's going to be hard to do, but that's what the EPA says we're supposed to do. We're not allowed to have any water go in the jungle. So we're trying not to put any water in the jungle, which is impossible, but we're trying. But it won't happen, it's impossible. I keep going back and forth on that stuff.
So what are you doing?
We're making the fastest concrete canoe in the country. That's what we're doing.
Oh yeah?
Yep. That's just money. Stephen Curry has played all day. No man. It's our nationals. No man. Problem is though, it's in our. That's our conference week. Conference. Put all the doors on the first side, right? Back over. Yes.
What are you doing? Just hitting a can?
I'm making a cylinder, a concrete cylinder.
You're making a what?
A concrete cylinder.
Okay.
Pretty much hitting a can, yeah.
Okay.
You get your hands dirty. You might need a little bit more than that.
Go on this side of the bucket and look at that side of the hall. You stay right over this bucket and look at the side of the hall. Now, towards me. Come here. Look at where Drew's working. Yeah? Look at the hall. Look on the side. What's up, man? Oh, yeah.
Cable cutters and blue handles, somebody? Cable cutters and blue handles?
Yeah.
Brad? Cable cutters and blue handles?
So what are you guys doing?
We're playing with bubbles.
Oh, okay.
This is like the waste barrels. We're trying to get rid of the waste.
Why were you making cylinders earlier?
I don't know, it's this guy.
Just for fun?
To test them later, so we don't have to break apart the concrete. You know, we're testing the concrete strength and compression.
This is not working.
How many engineers does it take to get rid of bubbles?
I think this is the video right here.